and we're not back on the air. Wrestleheads is back, better than ever, back in black. Chuck the Night Train Jones, Chi-Town's finest, Randy Dixon, and we are back in business.
Woo!
It's good to be back.
After what, 3+ years?
3-year hiatus.
I think it's 3+.
I'll tell you what, the way wrestling's going right now and the way it's been between that time and now, it's been a little bit of a downward spiral. And we got, I mean, they got to find some way to get things back on track.
Many shithouses has been filled.
Because if you ask me, the WWE right now, I mean, I've been a lifelong fan, and I know he's been a lifelong fan.
Whoa.
It's just...
Let's stop. Let's don't start to show off on bullshit. You was a WCW fan.
No. Fan of professional wrestling, period. I was still watching you motherfuckers in the 90s. All I'm saying is this. From what it was, where it went, how things went down, to where we are now, fucking night and day, and I'm not saying that in a positive way. The WWE, for some reason, I don't know if Vince McMahon is calling the shots anymore.
He still is.
If he's still calling the shots, or, you know, is it really solely on Stephanie and Triple H? I really don't know, but whoever the fuck's doing it, dude, they're fucking up. The storylines, like, okay, in a nutshell, the state of the company right now. To me, the state of the company right now is in a little bit of trouble. They're losing money left and right. You know, superstars are dropping like flies. When they're not getting injured, they're getting fired. And it's all bullshit. They got the wrong people in the driver's seat. You know, we've been saying this time and time again. But right now for the WWE, man, they need something refreshing. Because one thing that I do notice is when they do have a good star and when they do have somebody ready to go that you feel like, hey, they can be the main event, they get chopped off at the knees. You know what I'm saying?
They fuck it up.
So
it's plain and simple.
With that being said, you know, we're on the eve, well, I wouldn't even say the eve, we're on the aftermath of SummerSlam, where Brock Lesnar just totally destroyed John Cena. And I mean, it wasn't even, I mean, from an entertainment standpoint, it was rough to watch. I mean, Brock Lesnar beat the living shit out of John Cena, and I give John Cena credit for being a good sport, you know, being the flagship of the company for so many years. To just bitch down to Brock Lesnar like that, I mean, he took it like a champ.
If you look at that match, by the second German, he was done. His eyes was rolling back. He was done. And I mean, for him to take 14 more suplexes after that.
Some of which were Japanese suplexes, where he was tacoing on the back of his head and flipping backwards. Let me tell you something. You take those repeatedly, it just ain't gonna happen, you know. But now, here's my question to you.
Ask.
With them doing this, and with just the total domination of John Cena, what does WWE think? How are you going to repackage this match now? Because it's supposed to be a rematch at Night of Champions. Mm-hmm. How in the hell are you going to repackage that match after what we just saw at SummerSlam? Like, it ain't even going to look logical to have John Cena come back and win after getting the Dickens beat out of him on fucking SummerSlam.
God, Dickens. Okay, this is how I look at it. First off, for him getting beat down like that, it didn't make no sense. And it seemed like they don't have a plan. It's like, it seemed like all this shit is just off the fly now. It's like, well, okay, well, let's just have Brock go out there and beat the hell out of John Cena, take the title. Okay, what's the plan? How do you, first off, my problem is with this whole thing, how the fuck you put a title on a part-time wrestler? That's like when The Rock brought his monkey ass back, and you had him beat CM Punk with a fucking people's elbow, but not getting off the task.
Some of the worst shit I ever seen.
Not getting off the task because, you know, I can say that for another day. But the whole point, you having Brock Lesnar beat John Cena, it makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense.
It's not so much of him beating John Cena.
He beat him from an inch of his life.
It's how he beat John Cena. Like, John Cena, this guy ran the whole fucking PG era. He's been in such, like, brutal matches, back-breaking matches, just to get punked out like this. I mean, that was a fucking, man, I don't even know what you can call that. That was a mugging.
Let's be honest. Damn near everybody you had against Brock Lesnar since he came back. He's been back, what, 2+ years?
Something like that, yes.
He didn't beat the shit out of him, except CM Punk and Triple H.
And that Triple H shit wasn't even believable.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, getting back to what you were saying, that wasn't even believable. Like, okay,
joke.
even the average casual fan now has to read between the lines here and be like, hey, this just doesn't make sense. Why is Triple H whooping Brock Lesnar's ass?
You know why it don't make no sense? Because it's no way that you have a fucking. Well, I just talked about a part-time wrestler. Now you have a semi-retired wrestler come in there. Oh shit! Yeah, I'm a Viking. I'm gonna come in here and kick his ass. No, it don't make no fucking sense.
See, the problem is this, and I'll tell you what the problem is. When the WWE comes up with these grand plans,
goddamn problem.
Well, he's a problem. But look, when they come up with these grand plans and schemes of how they want shit to go down, and they write this shit out way so far in advance, and then when wrestlers bow out or they can't get the wrestler they wanted, then Triple H, well, I'll just step in and fucking fill the role. But people don't want to see that shit. It wasn't even believable for Triple H to fucking go over Lesnar like that. Now, I will pull your coattail to this because we know you're biased with Chicago and everything. I will say this.
City.
CM Punk, his match was probably the best that Brock Lesnar's had since Brock Lesnar's been back.
He was the only one that ever kicked Brock Lesnar's ass.
But
he took it to him.
He really took it to him.
He took it to him.
And it looked
he
great.
took everything Brock Lesnar got. If you look in some matches, like they was talking about having The Rock go against Brock at fucking 31. That ain't gonna happen because The Rock ain't gonna take it.
It's gonna be a goddamn nightmare if they do that shit.
He's trying to film Fast 9 and all these other movies.
My question is this.
G.I. Joe 16.
My question is this. Who the fuck gonna lead the match? Even with John Cena
Goddamn blind leading the blind.
Even with John Cena getting his ass kicked at SummerSlam, I can almost guarantee you Cena called that whole fucking match.
Most likely.
Suplex me again. Suplex me again. Suplex me again. Brock. Okay. Okay. You know? And the only reason why Brock Lesnar is so fucking good is because Paul Heyman goes out there and fucking sells water to a well every fucking week with those fucking legendary fucking promos that he cuts. I mean, shit, that motherfucker could sell a fucking ketchup Slurpee to a woman in white gloves. He's so good. But why isn't he booking the shows? Let that man book the shows.
Goddamn Zeb Culture. You remember that episode? Was it last year?
It was something like it was either real early this year or at the end of last year.
That was like one of the best fucking Raws of all time.
It was.
But granted, give the WWE credit for this, and I'll give them credit for this. The Raws lately have been good. I can't say nothing. I mean,
they've been good because they're starting to get edgier.
Yeah.
They're starting to get way edgier.
If you want to do a compare and contrast with them and TNA, Jesus Christ. And TNA, I don't even want to get started on that shit.
We're going to talk about TNA too.
Fucking Dixie, that bitch need to jump in the lake or something. Sorry for calling her bitch, but that bitch need to jump in the lake.
She should have been gone. But you know, getting back to the WWE and the whole state of these championships and how they're running the show now, I mean, what they did was they totally eliminated the World Heavyweight Championship, which to me, bullshit. You know, it's just like you said. It was always better to have two main champions, one on SmackDown, one on Raw, because when you fall into a situation where you don't have enough for a main event, like even if you wanted Brock Lesnar to dominate Cena and take the championship, literally he could have went home with the WWE Championship because we still could have had the World Heavyweight Championship main event in the next pay-per-view. But now you only got one championship belt. I'm sorry, that means Brock has to come every month. And does he really want to do that?
No. He's into going home mounting his wife. That's where he's at now.
I understand that, dude, and I love to see Brock Lesnar in there because he will take whatever someone gives him, and he will go 100% when he's in there. But the fact is, if you're not gonna do it every week, Brock, and you're not gonna fucking come out every week, and you're not gonna wrestle, you're not gonna do anything, I'm sorry, dude. You don't need to be holding the strap.
And you guarantee with Brock in the Brock match, he's going to do something crazy where he damn near kill himself.
Yeah,
so
you know
guaranteed.
This match with Cena was probably one of the few that he didn't.
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't have time because he was so busy whooping John Cena's ass. You know what I mean?
He took him to the woodshed.
But okay, now you think about that title picture: Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler. Now, why is he still down in the fucking mid-card level? Now, more than ever, the WWE has room in that main event. Oh, they got room. You know how they'll have room? You get Kane's fucking ass out of there. Why is Kane in so many goddamn high-profile matches? Can somebody please answer that? One day he got the mask on, one day the match is off.
I answer.
God damn it, he don't need to be in no fucking main event. He don't even need to be in no high-profile situation.
Me and you, we didn't talk about wrestling for years. And the last couple of years, I've been telling you, I'm like, his ass should be retired. He needs to be sent home. You was like, oh, King, it's good to see King.
I don't mind seeing King.
I'm not done.
All right, go.
Now, this fucking piece of shit son of a bitch, fucking still coming around, collecting a check, putting half-ass efforts out there. I'm like, he should have been still sent home.
But
because he's not putting the maximum effort. If you go throughout that curtain, you're supposed to go out there and put a maximum fucking effort. Maximum. Every time you go out there.
Every time you go out there. Whether it's a house show.
And he don't do it. And he don't do it. It's just like that rivalry he had with Bray Wyatt. He wouldn't sell for Wyatt. He wouldn't do nothing. He made that match look like shit. And then you done seen Bray Wyatt ever since that match, with everybody else he had, great matches. Like that kid's on the come up.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Right now would have probably been the best time to put Bray Wyatt in the driver's seat if you were going to go that way. You can't deny that he doesn't have the fans. He's got the fans. When that motherfucker comes out and you see all those goddamn lights, them cell phone lights up there, and they love Bray Wyatt. But the one thing that I'm worried about with that is, what if they just stop it on him? What if they just stop him? I mean, look what they're doing to the rest of his family. Why aren't the Wyatt family tag team champions? That goddamn Luke Harper, he's a goddamn man-child. He's got this weird fucking sadistic look. He goes out there, he kicks ass night in and night out, and for his size, he can get it done.
They both work good together.
Yeah.
That whole unit.
Yeah.
If you sit there and look at them as a unit, they work great together. Even though they got them kind of apart right now.
Yeah.
They got Bray over here, and they got them two over here. They working great together.
Yeah. But you know,
the reason why, and it's like, I never understood their logic. It's like, you had the Usos when they should have won the title probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Then you finally gave them the titles, and then now it's like you got them holding on too long now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, whichever Uso, I don't know which one it is, married to Naomi. I mean, good come up on that one.
Good job, Chief.
And you got the tag belts. I'm like, you pretty having a good damn year.
But you know, it's time for the Usos to drop.
Yeah.
It's time for them to drop the straps. And what it looks like.
But they had great matches. Good.
No, they put on a great show.
Even though they got a bum-ass father, Rikishi.
Yeah, that motherfucker, you know you should have showed up to the wedding, you son of a bitch. You gonna fucking let your son go out there and marry that nice wife with that fat ass, and they told you that you should have fucking been there at that goddamn wedding, and you cried those fucking fake tears on Total Divas, and you really didn't give a shit. You really didn't have no intentions on going, did you?
For $100 show.
That's bullshit. Yeah, a house show where he probably made $300 or $400 at best. I'm sorry, those kids deserve more than that. But that's a totally. I'm sorry.
About he did it for the people. He should have did it for his kids.
Yeah, motherfucker, you damn sure should have. But either way, getting back to what I'm saying, the Wyatt family, as a tag team, they should have got the straps 2 months ago. I think that second match with the Usos, that's when you should have put the straps on the Wyatt family. Because I'll tell you something.
They had some damn good matches.
They work so well with everybody. It has been so long that we haven't seen, like, when is the last time we seen a tag team really just work with anybody? If you can carry a match with motherfuckers like Curtis Axel and Ryback, who, I'm sorry, they just fucking suck.
No,
and you can fucking, hey, you can say what you want about Curtis Axel. That motherfucker, he sucks too. He's just as good as David Sammartino. He wasn't shit either.
That's you going too goddamn far.
No, it's true. It's true. Look, Kurt Axel gets an honorable mention for training Brock Lesnar to get Brock Lesnar in the ring shape.
He got
training
talent.
Batista and shit like that.
Good in the fucking ring.
He doesn't have talent. You know why?
He just don't have a personality. He don't have.
That's a part of talent.
He don't have his personality. Fucking.
That's a part of talent, though.
Not to bring up shit. Chris Benoit didn't have no personality. But he was good in the fucking ring.
Yeah, well, let's not compare wrestling ability Curtis Axel and Chris Benoit. Okay, that's fucking apples and motherfucking oranges with cooking oil poured on it. Bullshit. That's what that is. That motherfucker couldn't wrestle his way out of a wet paper bag. You fucking sitting up here telling me about some
Benoit couldn't talk.
He didn't have to talk.
Yeah.
Did you see his wrestling? His wrestling didn't talking. For Curtis Axel's wrestling, he has to talk.
Goddamn teeth replacement and all that shit.
I don't give a fuck. They tried all that shit. Yeah, that motherfucker got a winning smile. He sure did. You know? But it is what it is. You ain't never gonna see Kurt Axel win no goddamn WrestleMania match.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Exactly.
Goddamn Daniel Bryan went on them.
Man, oh God, don't get me started on Daniel Bryan. This poor bastard, he's probably gonna have to retire now. You know what I mean?
Hey, tell me something. How the fuck you got to get Tommy John? I ain't see him throw no baseball.
hey, all I know is when it comes to Daniel Bryan, but you see the guy put out so much effort, He did anything they told him to, and they never wanted him to succeed.
But you know, we got one guy.
How he looked.
We got one guy.
Not because of his talent, but how he looked.
But we got one
they
guy.
didn't want him in the main event.
We got one guy to blame that shit on. Fucking triple preparation H. It's his goddamn fault. He damn near tried to kill that boy when they had that goddamn match. Or no, it wasn't even a match. It was, he was handcuffed.
Why
he hit him everywhere on his damn body.
Dude, when he
everywhere he's hurt. His neck, his shoulder, now his goddamn Tommy John elbow. He hit him everywhere.
That was real. That was real. You
Triple
can
H
tell.
is a goddamn scumbag.
You can tell.
Everybody know Triple H is a damn scumbag.
You can
he
tell.
never wanted anybody above him.
He never did.
You know,
you can tell. You can tell when they did that work on Raw, where Daniel Bryan was handcuffed like that. That was real life frustration that Triple H took out on him.
Because he's hating.
And that was bullshit. Pulling him by the neck, yanking him, extending him like that. How you gonna have this man laying flat on his back handcuffed? That's probably where the shoulder problem came in at.
You know what's been the problem? Triple H has given out so many beatings to people, but he ain't never took them. If you ever sit there and think about it, you look at his goddamn matches, whenever Triple H took a beating, what you can say that one with the Undertaker, because he had to take that because Undertaker was half-assing.
Yeah.
You sit there and think about Triple H ain't never took a beating, but he look at himself like, I'm the top draw, I'm the game. Listen, motherfucker, the only reason why you would sit there because you was fucking banging the boss's daughter. You can't say no plainer than that.
But you know what? I gotta disagree with you because Triple H in his day, he used to put on some motherfucking matches. He cut that promo.
Look at the people he worked with.
He cut that promo. He hit that curtain. He was 100% all the time. I'm gonna tell you something.
I didn't say he was a shit wrestler.
When he cut his hair, that's when he lost it.
I did not say he was a shit wrestler. But that son of a bitch, he always put himself up here.
He did put himself up there, and I think that's why. And that's why I think Randy Orton has that same fucking complex too, because Randy Orton feels that nobody should go over him too. But you know what? I give Randy Orton credit though, because it looks like he's starting to come around with the time now.
He's still crying like a bitch.
But you still got to put people over.
He was crying. What was that? The other day, after Raw, he was crying about he was pissed, talking shit to the people in the back, talking about this dude, whoever kicked him. Because I forgot, when during the match, kicked him too hard. You know, it's one thing, you got Kennedy fired back in the day. And I mean,
Kennedy got himself fired.
You totally, yeah, because he was unsafe at times. I mean, that's a little bit compared to Samoa Joe.
No, but
that's like the most unsafe bastard of all time.
It was more than being unsafe with Anderson. Ken Anderson, King Kennedy, whatever the fuck. It was more than that with him. He had a problem with their direction. He didn't want to do what they told him to do. And it's just like anything else. When you coming into a job, you gonna have to fucking bow down and kowtow and do what they want you to do until you find your niche. Because once you find your niche, they're gonna let you go. But they don't know that you have that niche until you start working the program that they tell you to do. You know what I mean?
They knew, because you remember, everybody down there forgot it. Kennedy got the briefcase.
He did get the briefcase.
He won the briefcase.
I remember the briefcase.
He won that goddamn briefcase. So, hey, and then next thing you know, magically, they took the briefcase, Edge had another briefcase, and then that was that.
Edge is another one, dude.
Great career.
Career cut short, man.
Great career. But he did enough.
He did.
11 titles, the old rated R era, all that shit was great.
Now, speaking of titles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, with John Cena getting just fucking obliterated like a Gino's pizza, right? Now, with that being said, that's 15 championships in the books. 15. Are you going to put him over again and give him 16, which now ties the Nature Boy Ric Flair?
My opinion, ain't nobody should even got close to that.
Nope.
First off, Rick should be a 17-time world champion, but they say 16. Semantics, I guess. But at the end of the day, nobody should pass Rick. That should be Rick's fucking record. It's one thing. They gave him, Rick was the first time, 2-time Hall of Famer. Give him credit for that. But nobody should pass that 16. That's a golden number. And it's like Cena, he should tell him, like, no, I don't want to pass that 16.
And you know, the sad part is...
No more titles for me.
And the sad part
Cena's so far over, he don't need no titles.
But see, the sad part is when it comes to John Cena and winning these championships, a lot of it is a business decision. They just flat out didn't have nobody else to put the belt on.
They didn't trust nobody else. That's not true. They had people in the... Goddamn Dolph Ziggler can work like nobody's fucking business.
No argument from me.
I mean, shit, you had Drew McIntyre there. You had people that you could have put there. I mean, shit, you had CM Punk there. You had people you could put there. They just chose not to. They either Cena or Orton.
For some,
to the fucking new cats.
For some reason, they really feel like the company just can't move forward unless John Cena's holding that championship.
It's time for Vince to be put out the pasture.
That's just, I'm sorry.
Take him out back like old Yeller, put 2 in the back. That's it.
John Cena can't even get a legitimate break. When he hurt his arm, he hurt his forearm or whatever.
That fucking elbow,
he had to come back early.
Looking elbow.
He had to come back early because they didn't have nobody else lined up. And that's bullshit because just like you said, I'm sorry, dude. You got Cesaro sitting there. You got fucking Ziggler sitting there. I mean, honestly, when it comes to fucking putting people in the main event, I understand, like, the Shield, you know, Shield, all 3 of them are great. They are. All 3 of them are great. And that goddamn Dean Ambrose, I thought he was a piece of shit when he was with the Shield. I thought he was the worst U.S. champion I've ever seen since the Big Show.
He was.
I really did.
He was.
But when he separated from that group, that guy really turned it on to another level. And now's the best time because it's wide open. The WWE doesn't have a main event situation.
And what they talking about him is, oh, he got a cult following. Oh, that's cool. Nah, but we don't think he can be a main event. It's like, who the fuck you think can be a main event?
But see, here's the thing though. I can honestly sit up here and tell you with a straight face, I understand why none of those guys from the Shield should hit the main event. Not Roman Reigns, nobody, because they haven't put the time in. But you know who has put the time in? Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's put the time in. You gave him the main event for a fucking cup of coffee. And because Jack Swagger, being the fucking reckless son of a bitch that he is, fucking giving him that concussion and shit. Yeah, fuck him. Fucking putting that down.
Jack's a good wrestler.
Jack is a fucking asshole. Driving drunk and he gets another fucking chance.
Well, he was driving high.
Let Cesaro get into some trouble like that. You know, he would be gone. You know what I mean? Cesaro would be gone if some shit like that happened to him. Cesaro is a constant professional and can work with anybody. And I don't think there's a fucking fan out there that would have a problem if you put the main event in his hands. He can get it done.
Cesaro got the goods.
Dolph Ziggler can get it done. And these are guys that have put in years. And they're not rookies. They're not rookies to this.
It's more of them there.
Don't let me get started on Kofi Kingston. Kofi motherfucking Kingston. For as long as he's been in the company, at least Dolph Ziggler can say he's held the world title.
That's true. Twice.
Kofi Kingston can't even get the shot. And I don't know, man, how many fucking years ago was it when he was working that program with Orton and he tore the fucking house down at Madison Square Garden on Monday Night Raw and the fans were all in on him at that time.
What name did you just say?
He worked a good program with Orton. And then after that, they just wiped him out.
Because you know why? Because Orton went back there talking shit. You remember? If you remember when they was in MSG, he was talking shit. That was the end of Kofi right there.
And that's bullshit.
Because of Randy fucking Orton. They're just plain and fucking simple. Plain and fucking simple.
It goes back to tradition, okay?
What tradition?
The tradition is this. When you have 2 superstars who are up and coming at the mid-card level and they bust their ass night in and night out for the Intercontinental Championship,
they're supposed to
2 years down the line, they're supposed to be busting their ass for the world title. And the world title match should have took place between Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston. Hands down. Because those 2 are their own greatest rivals.
Think about it. Look how many times. Look how many times they fought for the Intercontinental title, U.S. title.
U.S. title.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I mean, Dolph, you know, I give him credit. You know, to get fucking shit sandwiches all the time, and he
still goes out there.
He makes it go.
Still goes out there and gives it 110%.
And you look at Kofi. Every goddamn Royal Rumble, he's having a damn
They call on him. They call on him for those Money in the Bank matches.
And
they call on him for the Royal Rumble. It's like, thanks for doing your stuff. Now get your ass back to the tool shed. That's bullshit.
And then Triple H, you remember that time Triple H fucking fronted him out?
Yeah.
Triple H
talking about, oh, I thought you were Jamaican. If I was Kofi Kingston, I would have said, motherfucker, you told me to be Jamaican. I would have just fucking said that shit. What could be worse? Shit. Kofi Kingston right now is a motherfucking JTG of the goddamn locker room. He don't even fucking get TV no more.
Well,
how the fuck you gonna have this bullshit? They just had this shit come out with fucking Xavier Woods, and I'm sorry, that guy ain't shit either. He fucking comes out,
Consequence Creed.
Yeah, trying to come out looking like Malcolm X, talking about, oh yeah, we've been getting pushed aside,
but they said
this and that.
But they said that group's supposed to be back on.
Man. That group ain't gonna be fucking legitimized. They could have made someone like Mark Henry.
They could have made him a new nation.
It ain't even about being the new nation, because they'll never be as good as a nation.
I mean, that was one of the groups.
But at the same time, they can make an impact. But I don't think the WWE will let that happen because they are people of color.
Hey.
And don't nobody want to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Say it.
You are not going to find an African-American champion running the WWE because they just don't have faith in minorities at all. I mean, I was proud to see when they put the belt on Del Rio, and Del Rio had the honor of holding both championships. And if you ask me, Del Rio was a damn good champion, a damn good worker, and a damn good performer.
That's true.
He had his accent, his heritage, and all that shit, and it didn't mean jack shit.
Yeah.
He went out there and worked with any fucking guy you put in front of him, and he
matches.
kicked ass. And for the WWE to let him go like that, you motherfuckers ought to be ashamed of yourself. Because that's bullshit. You gonna let some fucking toilet fucking paper motherfucker talk shit to him like that in the back and think he's not gonna get mad about it? And this ain't the first fucking offense? He should have got the shit slapped out of him.
The dude.
But when the fuck,
said
when the fuck,
racially charged.
yeah, when the fuck
Del
does that
Rio
mean?
went over there.
You start firing people.
Del Rio went over there and confronted him, and the dude laughed in his face, and Del Rio was like, oh, "Okay." Bitch slapped him.
But here's my question to you: how many people has Randy Orton or Triple H popped upside the head in the back,
Probably a lot.
and they ain't said shit about it? Because that's okay for
Because
them
they
to
the
do
Golden
it.
Boys. Well, you know Triple H, he's royalty now.
I don't give a fuck
You know?
what he is.
He's royalty. He can sit there and talk shit about anybody.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, with Del Rio departing like this, that's gonna be a big blow to the WWE because he was a main event wrestler.
They gonna tell him,
and whenever you had a
Triple H
chance
gonna call him
to plug him into the
keep your nose
main,
clean for 6 months, and we'll hire you back. And Del Rio's like,
I'm sorry.
I wasn't re-upping my contract anyway.
And
I'm outta here.
you know why? Because
So thank you.
he keeps getting disrespected. He keeps getting disrespected. That
It ain't
man,
gonna go nowhere
he
with the
is
same
too fucking
leadership.
He's too fucking good for his own use, and they won't even let him. They won't even cut him loose.
It's like the same thing with CM Punk. It's like you see this shit. Wrestlers are getting tired of seeing halftime fucking wrestlers. Granted, I give Batista credit because he signed a full-time fucking contract to come back.
He came back half-ass.
That's true.
Motherfucker looked like shit.
That's
I'm
true.
sorry.
That's true.
I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But when they saw, how the fuck do you come out number 28, nigga, and you tired? You was in the Royal Rumble, you came out like 27, 28, and you're already blown. Right at that moment, they should have called an audible. CM Punk should have won that fucking Royal Rumble.
I agree.
Him and Seth Rollins were out there for how fucking long? Getting it done. The fans were on their feet the entire time, not because of fucking Batista. It wasn't because man, stop calling him the Animal. He ain't no more of an animal than fucking Animal in fucking Legion of Doom right now. Shit. No, I'm just saying, man. You know, like it's bullshit. He had no business fucking main event in Mania. He did not earn any of that. When he came back looking like shit, I'm sorry, he was fucking sucking air on Raw cutting the interview. You too goddamn, your name, your presence, and everything that you left. When you why was he wearing those fucking pants?
I don't know.
All right, I don't know. When you Batista, and you done built yourself up to be this big monster, fucking Hall of Famer, performer, champion, main eventer. You know,
now movie star.
You don't, and now movie star. You don't.
Because his movie kicked the shit out of the Rock's movie.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
way down the street.
You shouldn't come back looking like shit like that.
I think when he come back this time, I think he's gonna come back better.
Well, I hope so.
I got hope for him.
Well, I hope so. But at the same time, dude, like Batista wasn't ready to come out there at that time.
Nah,
he wasn't ready.
Nah, he should have been. He should have
been.
You
know,
he should have crafted up and spent some months getting himself back in ring shape, where he would have known, like, okay, I'm ready to go out.
But see, that's on the WWE too, though. You knew he wasn't ready.
But see,
you shouldn't have put him in the driver's seat.
But you gotta remember,
you shouldn't have put him in the driver's seat.
You gotta remember the problem that a lot of the wrestling problem is the era we live in now. Because I remember when I was younger, 90s, you know, we didn't have all these damn dirt sheets and all this shit where everything comes out so damn fast. It's like now you got all these dirt sheets and everything that's telling what's going on in wrestling, and then you gotta fuck it up and they gotta call audibles and stuff gotta happen sooner because people already know what the fuck's gonna happen.
I got no problem with them doing that, but they're calling the wrong audibles, man. Sometimes, you know what, I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes people are gonna already know the outcome and they might be happy with that outcome and they still wanna see it. Mm-hmm. Like, if you have an outcome where you want Cesaro to be the man to fucking get the belt put on him and shit like that, and the fans are sitting here knowing that Cesaro's going to win the belt, it doesn't take away the excitement of knowing that finally a guy who deserves it
That's true.
is gonna get it.
Because you know
what I mean?
You can go back in the annals of history. Remember when old Tony Schiavone tried to say, "Oh yeah, Mick Foley gonna win the title." Yeah, that's gonna put some butts in the seats. And then everybody, when the shit happened, everybody turned to Raw to see Mick Foley win the belt.
Yeah, and had no problem watching.
And Schiavone looked like a goddamn schmuck.
I wonder where he is nowadays. I think he was selling hash.
No,
I think he was selling hash in Boyle Heights, wasn't he?
No, he's doing radio.
Oh.
He's doing radio.
Either way.
Which he'll be better than Michael Cole, bum ass.
Oh fuck! Don't get me started on.
The only time Cole was ever good is when he was bad Cole.
That
Now,
motherfucker don't know shit.
how do you work?
Hey, Jerry Lawler, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
How do you
fresh
work
off a
for
heart
company
attack, eating a steak,
and a potato?
eating that shit from Sonic Burger like a fucking week later. Those fried sweet potato nuggets. You just had a heart attack, nigga. What is you doing? And they don't know shit.
No.
If it wasn't for JBL getting on that table and telling them what those moves are,
John Bradshaw Laytonfield.
and he,
Like I said for years, when it always went down, the only thing that saved King on Raw was JR.
Yeah.
He saved his ass. And I mean, you look at JR, he was a goddamn handicap and he was saving that old bastard.
He can barely fucking move his lips to the left and right, and he was still fucking getting. No, he's fucked up. You know
No,
it.
JR's
either way,
JR's a goddamn Hall of Famer and national.
He is a Hall of Famer, but don't be trying to call Oklahoma games, dude. It just ain't gonna.
Why he
work
can't?
for
He's
you.
Oklahoman.
Oh, fuck.
It's perfect. And JR still can make calls.
Overrated.
Hey, you didn't see that Golden Boy shit? He was good on that.
Was he?
For boxing, he was pretty damn good.
Well, let's just get back to fucking Michael Cole being awful.
Yeah.
Motherfucker don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch.
That's true.
Saying this shit all the time. And Jerry Lawler, he don't know no better either. He's just there for so-called comic relief. But at the same time, JBL is the one that fucking tells these people the history, the moves, where they come from, how they originated. He really gives you true legit information. And you know who else used to do that shit? Matt Striker used to do that shit.
And
but they blackballed him completely out of the company because he knew too much.
Because you know why? Because
that's what it was.
He made Cole look bad. He made the King look bad.
Honestly.
And that was repeated, and that what came up because he made them look bad. Okay, you know, if you don't want to look bad, step your fucking game up. Start paying attention to what's going on.
Jerry Lawler,
learn a move or two.
Jerry Lawler ought to be ashamed of himself.
And you 60 years old.
Shit. He lived through the shit.
He's still living off that shit with Andy Kaufman.
And you don't fucking pay attention? Oh my god. Motherfucker still thinks he's kissing Bret Hart's foot or some shit. Bullshit, man. Either way, I don't think it's right.
Kobe's bad, but he can't.
Either way, I don't think it's right what they did to Alberto Del Rio. I think it was a travesty, you know. But he's not the only one.
People gotta face it.
People that's being held back.
This might be controversial to say. The WWE is racist in a whole. If you put it in a hole, they're racist.
Yeah.
It's a racist company, and it's sad to say. It's sad to say, but the proof's in the pudding.
It is.
Every time a black wrestler or African American gets elevated, next thing you know, he gets shit canned. You look at Big E. Kid got talent up the ass. He can talk. He can wrestle. He throws it all out there on the line. What happens to him? He's jobbing.
Yeah.
I mean, and who else in that group? Kofi? Another one.
But see, even when so like, if they're not elevating them, they're making them look stupid. Mm-hmm. Because now Booker T was the last great African American champion.
Yeah, he was the last one.
But why did he have to be King Booker to win the championship? Why did he have to look like a fucking fool with a crown on his head to win the belt?
Just made me think of Parquet. You remember Parquet?
That's bullshit though, man. You know? But he was the last one that we had. Now Lashley was gonna get the nod, but Lashley fucked himself up by chasing that female to TNA, and nothing ever amounted from that.
Hey, she was a nice piece.
I don't give a fuck how nice she was. This is the WWE Championship.
Just saying, you gotta give
this is the top of the fucking food chain.
He was dominating.
And now he's the TNA champion, and nobody gives a fuck. They're going off TV at the end of the year. Those motherfuckers can't even stay on TV. And now you want to bring back the 6 sides of shit? I mean, what the fuck? TNA, if you watch, let me tell you something. If you guys didn't know,
it's hard to watch TNA.
Look, if you're watching TNA on Thursday, best believe the show was fucking filmed 2 months ago. That's their problem. How many times are they going to show a show at the Manhattan Center?
Haven't they been there like 3 months?
They've been there for a long time. They got their ass kicked out of Universal Studios. That's what that shit was. The Impact Zone. Them motherfuckers ain't had Impact since Impact was Impact. Shit's fucking horrible.
And speaking of TNA, why it's fresh on my mind, how do you have a so-called Hall of Fame, right?
Oh, God.
You have a so-called Hall of Fame with no original, and I say original, people that started out with the company in the Hall of Fame. But you put Sting, Kurt Angle, and Team 3D. Where's Jeff Jarrett? I know everybody, I know. Everybody's mad because he was banging Kurt Angle's wife. I know everybody's mad about that. You know, and it was horrible. Jeff Jarrett was a scumbag for that. And trying to be an MMA fighter and driving up in a Sebring.
Oh my God!
Nonetheless,
you're really trying to bring this shit out of me, aren't you? You're really trying to bring this shit out. How the fuck are you dressed up like Sons of Anarchy and you pull up in a Sebring with a missing fucking hubcap? This is the shit that fucking TNA and their fucking producers and all this shit, they just never seem to understand. Now you want to talk about a goddamn Hall of Fame? That Hall of Fame's a fucking joke. Those are WWE Hall of Famers in your Hall of Fame. Why is AJ Styles not in that Hall of Fame?
Why did you let
Why
AJ
is
Styles
Jeff
go?
Jarrett not in that Hall of Fame? Who the fuck kidnapped Samoa Joe? I still want to know. That was from the show 3 years ago, and I still want to know who the fuck was driving the van.
I remember we was asking that question.
Who in the fuck was driving the van? But you know what?
And then he came back
but
to Nation of Violence with the Jimmy Snuka pants.
1 week. 1 week, Nation of Violence. Taz was his manager. Oh, the next week, Taz, guess what? You're on the table. Don West, you're fired. Samoa.
They threw him to do sell the T-shirts.
Oh yeah. You know, do that. That's why your fucking company's in the shape that it's in right now. The fact is, you guys were dumb enough. The fact is, you guys were dumb enough to let Hogan go down there and make decisions. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep on saying it. Vince sent Hogan to TNA.
He didn't have to.
That company up.
He didn't have to.
He turned that company upside down.
He didn't have to.
And I know that fucking Hogan was in on it doing that shit because right after he got done with TNA, McMahon signed him right back. And not only did he sign him right back, when Hogan was down there talking mad shit about the WWE in the TNA ring, they would have never brought him back. If he didn't get permission to do that, they would have never brought him back like this. Now this motherfucker got fucking birthday celebrations on Raw. I mean, that shit was fucking signed, sealed, and delivered, bro. They fucking planned that shit out from the beginning. And then the WWE being typical WWE, how you gonna have a birthday bash for a man and bring out everybody that fucking hated him? If the Ultimate Warrior was still alive, they would have had the Ultimate Warrior in that ring celebrating Hogan's birthday too.
Macho Man too.
Yeah, and they all fucking hated his guts. Orndorff fucking hated that motherfucker.
Be a punk, Hogan.
That's why that motherfucker was laughing when Brock Lesnar got in his face. Like, I know he was probably sitting there like, I hope Brock just fall off script and just sock him. Like, I really think so, man.
Good.
But the fact that they brought Hulk Hogan back so quick tells me that he was in on it the whole time.
He didn't have to. They so fucking dumb down there.
I don't understand Dixie Carter at all. Like, if you're gonna be the owner, be the owner. You can't do what Stephanie McMahon does.
Because you don't have the talent.
Stephanie McMahon was a fucking personality way before
she's already got behind the scenes.
Yeah, before majority owner and all that shit.
And then Triple H start pedigreeing that ass.
I mean, let's just be honest. You going through a table did not help your company at all. It was the dumbest shit we ever seen.
When he was messing with China.
Oh.
And then
God,
what happened?
That fucking Batman jaw.
No, I was gonna say, then what happened? Then miraculously China got let go when they started painting.
Yeah, it's time for you to go. Now she's taking it in the back door. Shit.
Back door to China.
Yeah, I'll pass. Anyway, getting back on topic. You know, I look at TNA and I look at what TNA is doing now. You got Bobby Lashley as your world champion. You got Samoa Joe as your X Division champion. You got the American Wolves as your tag team champion.
And one of them is down. I think one of them blew his knee out.
No.
Yeah, the little shorter one.
Shit.
Yeah,
they're fucked all the way around. Like, you know what this looks like to me? If you're watching TNA today, if you're watching TNA right now, it's the same goddamn TNA you saw back in 2006. They even bringing the same old people back. Low key, fucking. I think Sanjay Dutt made an appearance or whatever. That motherfucker ain't fucking selling DVDs out the trunk of his car.
Jesus
Christ. You know what I'm saying? All these fucking ham and eggers. They brought them all back. Why? Because they'll work for nothing and be on TV. That's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
But you know what? the one wrestler that I can always say that I have respect for in TNA, and he was in and out, in and out, in and out, was fucking Homicide.
I thought you were gonna say James Storm.
Fuck James Storm. I used to like that motherfucker, but his game went down.
I ain't never liked him.
His game went straight down. And be a successful solo act the way that Robert Roode became, but it didn't work because James Storm just flat out didn't have it.
You just think about the past year. TNA with their choice for champions. Chris Sabin.
Oh, God.
Chris fucking Sabin.
Hell Sabin.
Hell Sabin.
One of the biggest fucking nightmares I've ever seen. Like, that's the flagship of your company. That's why you guys are fucking getting kicked off of TV.
Listen.
Oh, Eric Young. Eric Young. Did Eric Young get that? Let me just propose this question because it's been on my mind. Did Eric Young get that belt because Daniel Bryan got the belt in WWE?
That's what it looked like. It's real suspect. Real suspect.
Eric Young couldn't wash Daniel Bryan's drawers. He just couldn't fucking do it. He can't wrestle. He used to be able to talk. His best run in TNA was when he was with the World Elite, and that was a long fucking time ago. You had this motherfucker wearing lingerie, being a fucking jerk off in the fucking locker room for 2 or 3 years.
With ODB, and they just let her go again.
Yeah, with the ODB and shit. You know, just being a goddamn sideshow, and all of a sudden that qualifies you to be a TNA World Heavyweight Champion. You know, Dixie Carter, if I was standing in front of you right now, I would have Alberto Del Rio your ass. Because that is the stupidest shit that you could ever fucking sign off on. I don't know who the fuck's writing for this company, and I don't really care. She's the final say.
Russo.
She's the final say.
They had Russo writing, and then Spike.
Yeah, I'm not.
Spike
I can't blame that on Vince Russo.
No. Then Spike said,
that's just
"No,
not,
we ain't gonna
Russo
fucking
is not
invest in this shit. We want his ass out." And then they start having that motherfucker work secretly behind the damn scenes.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Russo is not responsible for that shit.
He's only as good when somebody controlling him. See, he was good with the WWE because Vince had a leash on him. Like, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. Nope. That's too much. That's too much. When you gave him full autonomy for some shit, it's hard.
Don't mention WCW because he walked in there with 2 hands tied around his balls. He couldn't do shit with that because all those fucking creative contracts and all that bullshit, he couldn't do shit if he wanted to. But the best thing he did was shoot on Hogan and give that belt to Booker T because Booker T probably would have never touched that belt in the WWE if it wasn't for Vince Russo giving him the strap in fucking WCW. That's why I said I won't speak against Vince Russo because I know Vince Russo's potential. But that horse shit that you see on fucking TNA, that, I'm sorry, I got no words for the shit that I see. How many months did we see the fucking plumber's hammer be the key factor in the fucking main event? That fucking hammer won the main event more than Eric Young did. The hammer, a hammer, folks. You can go buy a hammer from fucking Home Depot and it has more main event experience than Eric Young.
And Hell Sabin.
Hell Sabin. What a fucking bitch. Just fucking stupid. Alex Shelley was the one that had all the fucking talent in that goddamn tag team.
That's true.
Fucking Chris Sabin.
And they sent Shelley to the shit house.
I think this fucking water bottle's bigger than Sabin. And you want to talk about somebody? It wasn't even believable to have Bully Ray getting his ass kicked like that from fucking Chris Sabin. It's these dumb ass decisions that they're. Oh, you know what?
Sabin can barely wrestle.
It's on my mind right now. It's on my mind. I gotta say, Jeff Hardy. There are some things that I've been waiting to say because we've been off, but goddamn it, we're back and we probably will run over an hour, and I don't give a mad Russian fuck right now. Let me tell you something. TNA. This motherfucker's high, inebriated. He can't walk. Walking with his eyes closed, that's not for his makeup. He's fucked up. Why? And I mean, why did you put him out there against Sting at that fucking pay-per-view?
And that dumb bastard Sting went back.
And yes!
You had a chance to fight the fucking Undertaker, and you want to go against this damn druggie? God, he was high as shit. He didn't know where he was at.
They had the Scorpion Death Drop him. Soon as he entered the ring, he got Scorpion Death Drop, and they had to end the pay-per-view. That was their fucking pay-per-view. I think it was what, Slammiversary? I can't remember which one it was. I can't remember which one it was. That was the worst shit I ever fucking seen. And for a future Hall of Famer like Jeff Hardy, you ought to be ashamed of your motherfucking self. I don't care how good you are now and fucking trying to go new beginnings and shit like that. You went out to the ring high.
Some people got
on drugs.
Some people got drugs in the family. You look at his older brother.
I don't give a
He got
goddamn shopping cart about this motherfucker and this fucking shit. You are not being. They fucking booked you months ahead of time for this blockbuster match against Sting, and everybody was in the house to see that match. TNA.
What house?
Whatever fucking house it was, it could have been somebody's backyard with their fucking 200 fans, and they're the livest fans in the world. Oh my! And now that we're back, let me tell you something else. Whoever that fucking black dude was with that fucking TNA tattoo right here, you crossed the line. You's the stupidest motherfucker I've ever fucking seen in my life. Now you take that TNA fucking tattoo when they go off the air and go fucking bag groceries at a co-op, motherfucker. Because that shit was the dumbest shit you ever did. Yeah, you crossed the line, but they not gonna cross your goddamn paychecks. That's where you fucked up at. Who in the hell really thought TNA was gonna overthrow WWE? That was even WWE with this horse shit that they're putting out now. It's still better. It's just still way better than what you're seeing in TNA, and it is not because of the lack of talent in TNA.
And it's not. It's
you disrespect AJ Styles while he's there. You disrespect
him.
Yeah, you disrespect Christopher Daniels. And then you know what else makes me mad? When they repackage somebody. They repackage a motherfucker just like they wipe their ass on the goddamn toilet seat. Oh, he's this week. Guess what? Next week, he's somebody else. Who in the fuck is wearing that suicide costume now? Because it's been 6 motherfuckers. Who the fuck's wearing that? Who's wearing the mask now? And then when you change the name to Manic, because I guess the word suicide, y'all motherfuckers committed suicide years ago. This shit's been dead. And y'all motherfuckers, if it wasn't for Spike TV carrying their ass,
they would have been gone.
They would have been gone. But then for them to help carry them, they do horse shit like putting Tito Ortiz out there with guess what? Guess what, Randy? The hammer. Why is Tito Ortiz carrying a hammer? Better yet, why is Tito Ortiz in a professional wrestling ring? Why is Rampage in a professional wrestling ring?
Hey, but give Rampage, he took a great fall when he got hit with that hammer. He went down fast. Went down faster than a tie hooker.
I don't give a fuck. That shit was some of the dumbest shit I ever seen. And that's why TNA is in the goddamn shape that they're in. Don't try to bring back the luster now, motherfucker. It's too late.
It ain't no damn luster. Where's the luster there?
I'm just talking about now they got more hustle in their system and shit like that, but
that's because the end is near.
Let me tell you something. I just watched that taping of that match that I knew took place 2 months ago. The Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys. These fans gotta stop telling these guys one more match. Take it from me, I'm a lifelong fan. No more matches. No more matches. Fuck a one more match. They're trying to work in that 6 sides of shame.
6 sides of shit.
6 sides of shit, shame, fucking cream of wheat. It don't fucking matter. It's the dumbest shit I ever fucking seen. And their spots, all their spots were off. All of them were off. They have to get this shit out of their mind. It is not 15 years ago.
Yep.
You cannot relive what you did years ago. And every time you try to do it, you're fucking up your legacy for what you did do 15 years ago. They had no business wrestling each other anymore in that match. And I mean, I look at the TNA fans and the TNA community. They know deep down in their heart when they're watching WWE on Monday Night Raw, because
they all watch it.
Let me tell you something. There ain't a TNA fan out there that don't watch WWE. You know why?
They're a goddamn lie.
You know why? Because you're a pro wrestling fan, just like I am. And no matter how fucked up TNA is, I still watch it.
And it's sad.
But it just pisses me off because you have so much good things that you could do there, but you don't do it. Okay, MVP, right? I'm gonna just sum this up real quick.
Talk about MVP.
You fresh off of New Japan, you come to TNA. I like what he was doing in the beginning, as far as like being a general manager and shit like that. You should have stayed that way. Should have never wrestled. That was just the dumbest shit I ever thought about. I don't mind them putting the belt on Lashley because Lashley can still fucking go. You know, he can still work, and I would have loved
pretty goddamn well.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen Lashley versus Lesnar. That's a WrestleMania match. Fuck that bullshit. Lashley versus fucking Eric Young. Like, who fucking gives a fuck? You know? Like, everybody knows Lashley's gonna fucking murder you.
Yeah, that's
true.
You
know? But I give Lashley credit. Unlike Batista, Lashley came back in shape. And he hit those fucking ropes and he hit those turnbuckles like he never left. Now, this is my message to you, Lashley. Have you seen enough now in your career to realize professional wrestling is where you're supposed to be? not MMA. You can't do what Brock Lesnar did. Hell, Brock Lesnar couldn't keep doing what Brock Lesnar did.
He had them bad guts.
Let me tell you something. You are perfectly fine where you're at now, except you're in the wrong company. You have no business stepping into an octagon ever again. The way you got your ass kicked at that goddamn Strike Force, let it go, Lashley. You did that shit, you conquered it, but you can be a star on such a much bigger platform right now if you were with the right company. And I don't care what nobody's saying. That's one nigga that the fucking WWE will put the belt on. You know why? Because look at him. You think Bobby Lashley couldn't go over there and be a Paul Heyman guy? And Heyman will put that motherfucker over the top?
Yeah.
Hey, Brock, go home. We got Lashley. Same shit. And Lashley will wrestle every week.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? He made a bad decision going to TNA. I can't help but to say it. But you know, we're gonna stop talking about TNA now because we got 10 minutes left. Let me tell you something. Jeff Jarrett's got this new company coming out, Global Force Wrestling.
Join the force.
I'm waiting to see. I want to see what it's about. I want to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I personally think that, it could be a good thing. He's supposed to be like partnering up with Toby Keith or some shit. You know, he might actually, he might actually do something with this. But if I know Jeff Jarrett like I know Jeff Jarrett, he's probably waiting to go on TV when TNA goes off.
He's sweating like a whore in church.
Well, I'm sorry. I get a little upset when you start talking about the greatest business in the world and you see people dropping the ball and shit like that. A person like me, I get emotional about this shit because I remember how good the wrestling business used to be and to the shit that it's at now, and there's no excuse for it.
I look at Global Force like this. Don't talk about it until you fucking ready to roll the company out. I don't need these damn vignettes, you and your broad running around, you and Mrs. Jarrett / Angle.
Also, he married her?
Yeah, he did marry her. Yeah.
Pussy must have been good.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
The chosen one. Laying that chosen pipe. Give her the stroke. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, we can't be sexist.
Why the fuck not?
Point B.
Fucking disclaimers on there. I'm fucking talking shit. Saying the shit that other motherfuckers won't say. I'll say it. But anyway, getting off of that. Now, WWE's had quite a few departures.
A lot.
JTG finally got cut.
That bastard.
I give that motherfucker an honorable mention. You stayed on the roster.
His goddamn tag team partner got fired, like 4 or 5 years ago?
Shad. Him and Muhammad Hassan decided to write a book.
And they back together. They call themselves Crime. Is it Crime Time? Or they switched the spelling. They back on the independent scene.
Okay, so coming to a high school gym near you. Speaking of high school gyms, Chavo Guerrero just wrestled in the fucking desert up here not too long ago. I wonder how much of a payday he got for that shit. You know what's funny? I remember when TNA packaged him to come out. They made it seem like Eddie Guerrero himself was coming out of the grave. Mm-hmm. When everybody saw that it was just Chavo, they fucking turned their TVs off.
Nobody cared.
Like, I'm sorry, Chavo's best run to me was in ECW when he had that feud with CM Punk.
That's true.
Hands down.
That's true.
That was the best. That was the best run that he had.
Chavo's problem was Chavo always thought he was better than Chavo was.
True.
He was a mid-card at best wrestler. And let's be honest, because of his last name and who he was related to, he got many, many, many chances. The dude just had to face facts, son. You can't talk. You barely can wrestle. You try to do your uncle's 3 suplexes, they look like shit. You try to do your uncle's flog smash, it look like shit. You just a shit wrestler. Marginal at best. So, when you think about your career and everything, you lived off your uncle for a long time. And he was been in the grave like 7, 8 years. And you made a living off of that. Because, let's be honest, nobody gave a fuck about you.
Nobody gave a shit until Eddie Guerrero passed away.
I mean, even when you was in WCW, nobody gave a shit about you.
Ham and Egger. Matter of fact, I think him and La Parka was sharing the same music.
Was that the chairman?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I gotta throw an honorable mention to La Parka. Don't fuck with that guy's mask. I saw that video where that fan tried to fucking take his mask off and he turned around and just
clock.
dope fiend that nigga in the fucking ring. Shit was awesome. That's why you don't touch a Mexican wrestler's mask. Unlike Rey Mysterio likes to keep taking it on and off like it's like some kind of thing to do.
But like him and Del Rio appearing in Triple A.
Oh man.
Down there. He that's sad.
I'm sorry. Del Rio's a goddamn legend. And
Mysterio's
going down to Mexico,
legend too. You gotta give
No,
Mysterio
he
credit.
is. No, he is.
And he
absolutely is.
One is out and the other one out. Mysterio's contract ended, and WWE got this clause in there where they can extend your contract however long time you miss. So if he missed a year, they can extend it a year. And he's like,
He missed a lot of
Triple H
time.
gave him a handshake, like, yeah, it's good doing business with you. Next thing you know, they re-upped his contract without him. Triple H is a goddamn scumbag.
That's WWE right
He's a
there.
goddamn scumbag.
But like, here's the thing. Like, okay, like you have all these departures that went down. One of the main ones that shouldn't have went down was Drew McIntyre.
I agree.
But why was Drew McIntyre in the first place? Why was he associated with 3MB?
I don't know.
3-man bitch?
I don't
Like,
know.
it was just the stupidest shit ever.
They took him down. They took him to the shit house. Drew McIntyre did not deserve that.
Nope.
That dude was a good wrestler. He still is a good wrestler. Mm-hmm. He can talk. He had the look. He had the finishing move. He had everything.
And some might argue that he's better than Sheamus, but Sheamus gets the nod because
he wanted Triple H butt buddies. Probably one rubbing the preparation H on him. But nonetheless.
I don't want to think about that shit.
But nonetheless, the dude's a good wrestler.
Sorry if we got off topic, folks. And
But
I'm sorry, sometimes we gotta flop the handle. Hey, this is our first time back in 3 years.
Yeah.
We got a lot to say. We're gonna cut it loose right now though.
Let's get to
and
the
we're gonna
kitchen
come back
bitches.
next week. But as always,
Whoa. We can't go nowhere without the kitchen bitch.
that's what I was getting ready to tell you.
Okay, let's go.
As always, you know how we end our shows. Kitchen bitch of the week. Randy, you wanna go first or should I take it?
Sure, because I know we got time constraints, so I'm gonna wrap this up pretty goddamn quick. Hulk Hogan, this old fuck is sitting here mad at Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar came in there and said, "Hey, get out the ring, Grandpa." Last time I checked, you over 60 years old, Hulk. Last time I checked, you're not a major star no more. As they fucking wheeled your old ass out.
Fuck all that. Why is he telling TMZ he's gonna get back in the ring? Gosh damn.
Like, you got fake knees, fake back. Just sit your old ass down.
Shaped like a fucking question mark.
Shit. I mean, you look at this old fuck. He come back and fucking think he ruling the world. Hulk, you been done. Your day in the sun, you was the top motherfucker at one time. Yes, you was. You was the man. We all grew up saying our prayers. Well, I don't know if I was saying prayer, eating the vitamins and all that other stuff. We did that. That day has passed. NWO has passed. You go to TNA, you fuck them up. You come back over, thank God Vince wouldn't put you in a power position to fuck that shit up. You have to realize this. You're not a talent no more. You fucking an old ass ambassador. You see how Nate take his goddamn role? Learn something from Ric Flair. You could have learned how to wrestle too. But that's another thing for another fucking day. Hulk Hogan, you're my fucking kitchen bitch of this week. Go ahead.
Well, my kitchen bitch of the week is the WWE as a whole.
As a whole.
I'm getting sick and goddamn tired of seeing the same fucking matches at every fucking pay-per-view. Why in the fuck does it have to be the same motherfuckers going against each other for 4 fucking months straight? And every match you can think of. Tired of that shit, man. I mean, if they were gonna throw fucking John Cena and Randy Orton at us one more time, I was gonna walk. I was gonna get the fuck out. Because I am sick of this shit. You fucking sit there and you hold down true fucking talents like fucking Bray Wyatt, fucking Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, all day long. These guys gotta go out, bust their ass, and watch a fucking no talent motherfucker take the goddamn role. And every time you motherfucker, hold on. And every time we fucking sit up here and we gotta sit here and look at this shit and we gotta sit up here and call ourselves pro wrestling fans and be fucking patriotic about what the fuck's going on and shit like that and say, oh, the WWE, well, they're in a good place. Well, let me tell you something. When you lose $350-something million on the stock market, you are not in a good place. When your fucking network is not selling the shit that it's supposed to sell and the time that you said it was, I'm sorry, dude, $9.99, let me tell you something. Those pay-per-views are only worth $9.99. In the last year, I used to pay $54.95 for those fucking pay-per-views.
HD.
The best thing they came out with was that $9.99 network bullshit. I am pleading to you, as a fan that will never walk away, straighten up your program.
Get your shit together.
Stop making bad decisions. Don't push people before they're ready to be pushed. How about pushing the people who have been standing in line all night with this shit? We're gonna wrap it up. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
This is Wrestleheads. I'm
We're
Chuck
back.
Jones. This is Randy Dixon. And we're back, motherfucker.